Yes, good morning student. I hope you will be fine at your home with safe. So, my name is Ajit Kumar and today we will discuss about one topic of your civics book, that is federalism. So, in this topic basically we will discuss about the meaning of federalism, then features of federalism. What are the features of federalism? That we will discuss. The types of federalism, and then we will discuss the federalism in India, how the federalism is following in our country. So, federalism in India we will also discuss, and at the last we will see one topic, that is decentralization, means how the power is decentralized in our country. So, basically it is about local self-government, local self-government establishment in 1992. So, let us start the topic with the meaning of federalism. So, federalism is a type of ruling. Federalism is what? Is a type of ruling. Okay. So, the origination of federalism word, it's originated from a Greek word fidus. Fidus, which means any pact or contract. Any pact or contract. So, basically the federalism is what? It's a type of ruling in which power is distributed. Power is distributed between central authority and its various constituent units. So, federalism is a type of ruling in which power is distributed between central authority . Central authority means what? Okay, that union government. Union government we can say, central government we can also say. Okay. So, this is the central authority, means from where the power is coming, that is called the central authority, and its various constituent units. Constituent unit means what? Constituent unit means legitimate units, which unit is authorized by the constitution of that country. Okay, like the state government are the constituent unit of central authority or the central government, state government, local government, local self-government. Okay, so these are the constituent unit. Like your house, you can't claim that your house is a constituent unit, because no provision is done in our constitution that each individual house will have that much share in the power in the government. Okay, so you can't claim that. So, basically federalism is what? Again, it's a type of ruling in which power is distributed between central authority and its various constituent units. Understood? So, basically we can say that if the federalism is there, then there should be at least two level of government. At least two level of government should be there if federalism is going on. Okay? Now we need to understand what those nation government system is called, where only one level of government is going on, like only central government. So, those nations ruling system is called the unitary government. unitary government. So in those nations, only one level of government, like the central government. Okay, so Britain is an example of unitary government nation. So there is only one level of government you can find, that is central government. Okay, no state government, no local government. Okay, so there are basically two types of ruling system: federalism, federal type of government, where you can find at least two level of government, and unitary government in which only one level of government will be there. I hope that you have understood now the definition of federalism. Okay, so now we will discuss about the features of federalism. Features of federalism. So number one feature that we have discussed just 1 minute before, that there should be two or more than two level of government. Okay, the first feature is there should be, or there are at least two or more than two levels of government we will find in federalism. The second feature is each level of government, has its own jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is what? Okay, jurisdiction is a legal claim of any person, of any organization, of any level of government in which they have legal authority. Okay, like suppose that, for example, the Rajasthan government is empowered only with Rajasthan. They can't make rule for the Punjab, they can't make rule for Haryana, they can make rule for Rajasthan only. Okay, so this is called the jurisdiction. Okay, like they can collect the tax only from the Rajasthan people, okay, not from the people of Haryana, not from the people of Punjab. So that is why it is said each level of government has its own jurisdiction for functioning. Okay, next feature is powers and functions, both powers and functions of each level government are decided by constitution. Okay, that which level of government will perform which task, how much power they will have, that all the things are explained in the constitution. Like in the Indian constitution, in the schedule 7 of the Indian constitution, the power of each level of government is explained. Okay, so this is basically found in threefold list: the union list. So union list, in which those subjects are added on which the center, it means the Parliament of India, can form the law. So these subjects are added in union list, like the currency, like the defense, like the national security. Okay, so these subjects are included in union list. The second is state list. State list in which those subjects are added on which the state legislature, it means the state legislative assembly, they can form the law. Okay. And the third is congruent list. Congruent list means in which those subjects are added on which both center and state, means the Parliament of India and the state legislature, both are empowered to form the law. But if any situation has arisen in which both level of government has made the law, like first state government has made the law and then center has also made the law. So in that condition, the law which is made by center will supersede the state laws. Okay. So we can say that basically this is also the plus power of the center or the Parliament of India. Okay. So in this way the power is explained, that which level of government will have how much power. So that is why no clash happen in our country in the matter of power. Okay, because already it is clarified in our constitution that whose level will have how much power. So this is the feature of federalism, that power and functions of each level of government are decided by constitution. Okay. The next is independency of judiciary. Dependency of judiciary. If the federalism is going on, then there should be an independent judiciary. Independent judiciary should be there. Okay. So in India we can say that independent judiciary is there. It does not work under any pressure. Okay. Why these provisions are made in federalism? Because it is possible that there may be clash, there may be dispute between two levels of government, even between any individual person and any level of government. So that type of issues are resolved by judiciary. If the judiciary will be independent, then they will take the justice, they will give right justice. Otherwise, if they will work in the pressure of government, so maybe that they will not able to give justice to the people. Okay. So this is also the feature, that if the federalism is going on in any nation, so there should be independent judiciary. Okay. So these are basically the features of federalism. Now we will try to understand the types of federalism. The types of federalism. So basically we can divide the types of federalism into two parts, or we can say the federalism can be of two types. The number one is coming together federalism. Coming together federalism. And number two is holding together federalism. Holding together federalism. So let's try to understand that what is coming together federalism and what is holding together federalism. So first we will try to understand the coming together federalism. In coming together federalism, the small units, or we can say the states, they just come together and they form a single unit. The reason behind this is security. because they feel that if they will stay separate, so any foreign attack can be happen on them, or it may be also possible that those different state will fight with each other. So for their security, they just come together and they form a big association, and that is called the federation also, the country also, the nation also. And this type of nation, this type of federation is called the coming together federation, and this type of federalism is called the coming together federalism. Okay, so example you can give, USA is the example of coming together federalism. Basically USA is what? It's a group of 50 states. It's a group of 50 states. So those 50 states, they have joined together and they have formed the USA. Okay. Next is holding together federalism. Holding together federalism. So in holding together federalism, what happens that already a big association is there, and for the administrative easiness, because suppose there is only one government and the area is large, so it's not possible for that single government to manage this whole area effectively and efficiently. So what they will do, they will divide this large area into different states or different part, and they will give some power to those state authorities. Okay, that you please run only this area with this power. So it's easy for those governments to manage this small area. Okay, so the reason behind it we have discussed, administrative easiness. Administrative easiness. The large area is divided into small parts. Okay, so this type of federation are called holding together federalism, means they are still a single unit, but just for administrative easiness they have divided themselves into different small units, but after all they are one unit. So this is called the holding together federation, and the type of federalism is called holding together federalism. So India is the example of holding together federalism. When we got the independence in 1947, so that at that time the India was not divided into states. Okay, firstly the India was united under the leadership of Sardar Patel, you know that very well. Okay, because that time India was divided into 567 princely states. So it was the task of Sardar Patel that he united these all provinces, all princely states into the Indian Union. And then in 1952 the State Recognition Committee was formed, which divided the India into different states. Okay, in 1956. So we can say that India is the example of holding together federalism. So these are the types of federalism. I hope that you have understood. So this is what we have discussed today, and later on we will discuss in coming classes. But till then, stay happy and stay safe. Thank you.